The finale of the weekend, arguably the finale of the season as a whole. Brace yourself for the most anticipated battle of the year. After a year of absence and 3 months of immaculate battle, it all comes down to this. Wout van Aert, Mathieu van der Poel, round 8 of the Rainbow Battle. This is it. For the Men Elite World Championships, there's only 2 real names worth noting, but of course, stranger things have happened. A World Championship remains a World Championship. But I don't think there's a better place to start though than with, in my opinion, the man of the season. Wout van Aert has been utterly immense this year. This is the first year in a long while where I've felt like Van Aert has properly had the upper hand over Mathieu van der Poel. And it's given me the confidence to bet against Mathieu, something I would usually never do. Van Aert's brilliant showings in Diegem and Zolder give me the impression that a peak Van Aert is currently definitely good enough to take a 4th world title. However, Mathieu van der Poel is Mathieu van der Poel. The man is a legend, the man is a myth, and when his back is in working order, the man is nigh on unbeatable. Honestly, that could well be what it comes down to. If Mathieu is at his best, I think he's the better of the two. It's just that he's not really seemed quite at his best every time this season. Recently in Besançon, he seemed to be pretty much where he needs to be. However, that was of course with Van Aert not there, allowing him to likely race within himself a little bit more. While I think the course as a whole is a little bit more suited to Van Aert, the final off-camber section is exactly the kind of place where Van der Poel does something utterly unthinkable to win. This is the closest I think they've been in ability in years, and picking a winner is going to be so difficult. Behind these two, it's a bit of a free-for-all. Tom Pidcock has chosen not to race the Worlds, and that has left the 3rd podium spot pretty much open for anyone. Toon Aerts is of course also still banned. He'd made that 3rd spot basically his own in recent years, but he won't be there either. Their absences pave the way, for me at least, for Michael van Toerenhout. Van Toerenhout has probably been the closest to the big 3 at times this season, not able to hang on for long, but able to stay with them for a short while. Should he manage to do that on Sunday, he could afford himself enough of a buffer to roll home in the top 3. Van Toerenhout has also positioned himself as something of a big game player, with his victories in both the European and Belgian Championships this year. However, Michael would prefer a harder course. More rain would suit his abilities better. Someone who I think would prefer a drier course is the World Cup winner Laurens Sweeck. Sweeck has had the best year of his career so far, winning his first ever World Cup round in Maasmechelen, following that up with another one in Beekse Bergen, and then winning the whole competition. Sweeck is better on faster, flatter courses like Hoge Heide. Add in a sandpit and he'd be right at home here, so he could well do well. Eli Iserbyt has had a weird year. Hampered by injury, he struggled a bit throughout November and December. It feels like Iserbyt has had a bit of a miss this year, but at the same time he's still taken 3 World Cup victories. In recent weeks, he seems to be improving again with podiums in Benidorm and Hammer and a would-be podium in Besançon had he not crashed right at the end. Somebody who seems to be losing form somewhat is Lars van der Haar. The Dutchman has said so himself numerous times in recent weeks. The grueling Dutch nationals are still impacting his fitness weeks later, and he said that he just feels tired and laboured during racing. He's Van der Haar though, one of the most experienced and arguably one of the smartest on the bike of everyone starting. Hoge Heide also suits Van der Haar very well, so don't count him out yet. If Van der Haar should falter, the next second in command for the Dutch should probably be Joris Nieuwenhuis. Nieuwenhuis is fresh off his first World Cup podium in 5 years, and at his personal best, he has been able to duke it out for podium positions. I don't know if he's quite at his peak right now, but he's looked thoroughly impressive at points this year, and that podium could well be the confidence kick he needs. With no Tom Pidcock, British hopes will be on his former Trinity teammate Cameron Mason. Mason has had something of a breakout year, riding a fairly compact calendar but doing so with a great deal of success. The Scot has nestled himself as a mainstay in the top 10 wherever he's raced, and crowned himself as British national champion for the first time 3 weeks back. This will be Mason's first elite foray, but expect him to be near the pointy end of things. Clément Venturini could be a total wildcard for this race. I have absolutely no idea what to expect from the French champion. Venturini was last year's Nieuwenhuis, announcing a return to cross in serious fashion. His results were certainly not bad, but nobody would have predicted he'd finish 5th at the World Championships. This year Venturini has been in similar form to last year before the Worlds. hanging around the back end of the top 10. But he's managed to reclaim his French title, and in Besançon he equalled his best ever World Cup performance with a 4th place. The other time Venturini managed a 4th place was incidentally in Hoge Heide back in 2017. I don't expect too much from the Frenchman, but he could pull up a massive shock. Kevin Kuhn, on the other hand, should be Mr. Reliable, a thoroughly reliable shout for a top 10 result, maybe even into the top 5. Kuhn isn't necessarily suited to this course, but he's always been a very well all-round bet. It was Kuhn who was able to hang on with the Belgian elite the longest in Benidorm, and if he's able to have a day like that again, he could punt himself very far. The top 2 positions feel like a lock, but in which order will they finish? I'm going to put my money on Wout van Aert, but I'm doing so slightly reluctantly, because honestly, I don't want to choose either way. I don't feel confident with picking either one over the other. It's really a 51-49 kind of split in favour of Wout, but Van der Poel could realistically claim his 5th world title. It wouldn't be surprising. If I had to pick someone to round out the podium, my instincts say Michael van Toerenhout, even if I think Sweeck is more suited to the course. But more so than any other race, I find this one impossible to call. So please, let me know what you think. Comment down below, let me know who you think will be the world champion and who will be on the podium come Sunday evening.